Hi, welcome everyone to the EURACTIV's Europe Now program. I have a pleasure and honor of speaking to David McAllister, the member of the European Parliament from the European People's Party, and probably again the chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I would like to ask you about the impact of the far right on the structure and the future mandate of the European Parliament.
Well, first of all, I thought the European parliamentary elections were an impressive democratic exercise. Turnout 1% higher in Europe, 180 million Europeans participated, and the result is that the center of the European Parliament has held its position. If you look at the numbers, the EPP, the Social Democrats and the Renew, the three groups who are in the center of the European Parliament, they together have 400 out of 720 seats. So if the center holds and we work together with other pro-European, pro-democratic, pro-Ukrainian forces, then the European Parliament can once again be a stable, reliable actor in this term.
And what do you think is the role of Europe on the geopolitical scene, taking what's going on in America and the incoming US presidential elections?
Well, the European Union is a global payer, but we are still not a global player. We have
Not yet.
No, we have to get our act together.
How?
We have to strengthen our common foreign and security policy. Look, the difference is between foreign trade and foreign policy. When it comes to trade, we are a global power because we have united and we speak with one voice. We are not there yet when it comes to foreign and security policy. So one of the main tasks of the next 5 years is especially how we can actually strengthen our role at a global level when it comes to foreign affairs, security, and also defense. And one major step forward will be establishing a European Defense Union.
And do you think it will be really a working one? How do you see the potential of its effectiveness?
Well, we are living in these geopolitical challenging times.
Yes.
We have the Russian war of aggression against Ukraine. We have an increasingly assertive China. We don't know what's going to happen with transatlantic relations. We in Europe ourselves have to do more for our own security and defense. Who else should do it?
Mm-hmm. What do you see, how do you see the future of NATO if Donald Trump wins?
Well, first of all, the US elections will be decided on the 5th of November. And like in any other NATO member state, we will accept the outcome of the presidential elections. We in Europe need to be prepared for both possible outcomes, either again a Democratic-led administration or a Republican-led administration. But one thing is clear, the United States are our most important ally. The United States are at the foundation of NATO. The United States guarantee our security, and that means our liberty
but
in Europe.
But it might change if Trump wins.
Well, that's why we have to work on strengthening the European pillar within the NATO framework. But I would not question the transatlantic alliance. Whoever is president of the United States, at least we have an interest in working together with the Americans. What we saw from 2016 to 2020 was that Donald Trump is, I'll put it in diplomatic terms, not a convinced transatlantic fighter, but we've also seen that he is unpredictable, but his unpredictability is also predictable. So we need to reach out to people around Trump. We need to reach out to senators, to members of Congress, and make clear that the transatlantic alliance is not a one-way street, but it's also in the US interest to have reliable allies and partners in Europe.
Do you think there is an option from the side of the European Union of increasing the united support for Ukraine?
Well, until now we have been very rock-fast committed in supporting Ukraine.
But still, it's less than 1% of our GDPs.
And we will continue to support Ukraine. We have to do whatever it takes for Ukraine to win this war against the Russian aggressor.
But when do you see the conflict, the war can end, and what's the potential of Ukraine joining the European Union then?
The key to end this war lies in the hands of Mr. Putin. He started this war of aggression. If he withdraws from Ukrainian soil and territory, if the Russian forces respect the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of Ukraine, then this war would be finished. He's not ready to do so. That's why we have to continue to support Ukraine in their heroic defense against this war of aggression, because there's much more at stake than just defending Ukraine and the liberty and freedom of the Ukrainian people. So that's where we are. This war will come to an end when conditions are met which the Ukrainian side is ready to accept, because Ukraine is the victim in this war. Hardly ever in history has there been a war which has had such a clear reason. This is a brutal violation of international law, and it's a fundamental attack on the European peace and security architecture. We have to be crystal clear on this matter as European Union and as NATO.
Thank you very much for this conversation.
Thank you very much, madam.